and how to achieve that main objective. We identified three main areas. We needed the water quality and the quantity along Lutembe Bay improved. And how do we hope this water quality to be improved? We should undertake afforestation and reforestation and regeneration of vegetation around the Lutembe Bay. We should also introduce modern farming practices. Then the other aspect, core objective to achieve the main objective, we needed fishermen to use legal fishing gears and methods. And how do we intend to achieve this? By sensitizing the fishing communities on the impact of the illegal fishing gears, and by also having laws and regulations reviewed and implemented. Remember, somewhere in the problems we said that our laws are obsolete and not deterrent enough. So by reviewing our laws, we'll be trying to answer that problem. Then also training the enforcement officers. Somewhere we say that the way they conduct business is not proper. We are going to have standard operating procedures, then train the enforcement officers on how best to ensure that fish stocks are restored. Then for sand mining, we identified it as a problem. So as a solution, sand mining needs to be regulated, whereby key stakeholders that are concerned with sand mining will have to come, engage, collaborate, and come up with the management plans on how best to sand mine. And then we are proposing alternative sources of livelihood to ensure that those who do sand mining, they don't continue with sand mining, they adopt the alternative sources of livelihood. Our next slide is on project selection. How do we select our project? We had actually three approaches, but we zeroed on two. The first approach was the environmental awareness and education approach. Then the second was the policy and the legal approach. The other third approach was the economic approach, which involved the sand mining. We realized that the two approaches here, each approach supplements the other. What we mean, you first need to sensitize the fishing communities on the environment, on the regulations, on the laws, on the gears. Then after sensitizing them, now you do the actual fishing and the management enforcement. So we felt approach one and approach two can enable us achieve the main objective of the project, which is to restore fish stocks. And the third approach of sand mining does not involve direct beneficiaries. Remember, the people who are doing sand mining are not the fishermen. These are businessmen. So this is just justification why we left it out. Then both approaches are possible to be implemented together. You can as well implement these approaches together. So in our selection, we used approach one and approach two to come up with our main topic that we started with. And we believe these two approaches will enable us get best practices for fishing. Project design. Our project is for 3 years, and the cost is $600,000. And the target group, as we have been in the previous slides, is the fishing communities and adjacent adjacent this bay, this bay. In there, we are just showing you, I think, the overall goal of the project is to the standards of living of the fishing communities in this wetland should be improved. That is the overall goal. And the purpose is the production and productivity of fish in Irutembe must be restored. The output, the quality and quantity of water is improved. Adoption of use of illegal fishing gears should be increased. We can go to the activities down. Among other activities we identified in the first approach, we have there is afforestation, there is gazettement of buffer zones, there is sensitization of the fishing communities, and then we are talking of introducing effective water monitoring systems. Then we are talking of sensitization of the fishing communities as regards to laws and regulations that are in place, reviewing and implementing of the fisheries laws and regulations, training of enforcement officers, and providing some basic financial support to some of the stakeholders at the landing site to enable them to perform their activities. Okay, we can proceed. Okay. Project appraisal. This is the criteria we used to appraise our project. On the goal, we gave it 5 because we realized that this project is very relevant, especially to the fishing communities, because we were trying to improve the standard of living of the fishing communities. That's why we scored it 5. Efficiency, we gave it 4. How efficient we think the project will be. The impact, we ranked 3 because we are sure from the activities that we have identified, we have not identified all the activities that will be able to achieve the overall goal. However much you can identify critical activities, you will never identify all of them. That's why we gave it 3. Purpose and output, we felt they are very relevant in this project. We gave them 5. Activities, we gave, on the effectiveness of the activities, we gave 3. Because just as I've explained, there are many activities, so you can never complete all of them. Inputs, we need inputs for us to be able to undertake this project. Plan of operation. We have picked out a a few activities. We have not picked all the activities, and this is how we intend to conduct our activities. As regards sensitization of the fishing communities, the expected result will be understanding of legal fishing practices by the fishing communities, especially the concerned parties that will be around Lutembe Bay. And the time schedule, we think from November to April, we'll be able to undertake that activity. And the responsible institutions or persons are the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. And in here, like my colleague has stated it, there are many enforcement officers fall under Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Industry. And also the district local governments, these are the civil servants, the politicians that are in the districts, they fall under that. And then the non-governmental organizations that are in that area will be helping us to do the sensitization. The inputs we need for the sensitization will need the training manual, we'll need the personnel to undertake the trainings, or the sensitizations, we'll need the machinery in terms of vehicles. All those inputs will enable us to achieve or to perform that activity. The second is the gazettement of the buffer zones. The expected output will be clear demarcation of buffer zones where no farming should be done. We only put our trees and vegetation. We also thought that from June to August, we'll be able to undertake that activity. We can get a consultant to help us do that. An input that we need is a statutory instrument, a legal document to help us come up with that gazetted area. Then training of officers. The officers will definitely understand how to conduct enforcement with the clear standard operating procedures. And the responsible person is the Ministry of Agriculture that will put in place the SOPs and also do the training. And lastly, the introduction of effective water monitoring systems. There will be a timely monitoring of the water and the sediments will be in place between July and December of 2020. And the responsible person or institution is the Ministry of Water and Environment. Inputs. These are the general inputs of the project. We are going to need the human resource, and in human resource there are quite many. For example, the technical experts will be there, the consultants will be there, the casual laborers will be there. We are also going to need finances for this project. Then the machinery in terms of vehicles, operating machinery. So all these are required for the project. What are our strengths and weaknesses of the project cycle management? The strengths, we feel the project cycle management enables us to improve our chances of achieving the desired result, because you'll be able to clearly monitor the activities and set targets, so you will be able to use the DCM to see if you have achieved your results. The second is you will set the scope, schedule, and budget accurately from the start up to the end of the project. Weaknesses, not knowing your pattern as well. If an organization acting as a coordinator is preparing a project proposal, it may not be fully aware of who its potential project partners are. So we felt that is a weakness on the PCM. And then preparing a project in a short period and just before the deadline. If you are to come up with a very good PCM, it requires real time and a lot of research. If fish is less found in Rutembe, we are going to laugh like that. Thank you very much.
All right, now we open the session for questions and answers. Does anyone have any questions that they would like to forward to Uganda? We see here first the Kenyans.
Thank you for the presentation. Just curious, when I was following you, I don't know if everyone noticed, they did problem analysis before stakeholder analysis. Was that intentional or it was a mix-up? You did stakeholder analysis after problem analysis. Was that intentional? And then the last one, on the weaknesses. You're saying that the PCM, you'll have a challenge if you don't know your co-partners in the project. But in the stakeholder analysis, the PCM addresses that. What are some of these challenges that you're talking about?
Thank you. I'll first answer the first question. We felt that we changed the arrangement according to our group, the discussion that we had. We felt that it would be proper, first of all, to know your problem before you identify stakeholders. We completely did it not the way we were showed, or not the way most of you have done. For us, we first identified the problem, and then we came to the stakeholder analysis. But the doctors here, our facilitators will advise, if it is bad, we can always rearrange. And then the second question, I don't seem to get it, but Simon can help me. But it can come out clear.
Probably you can clearly state your question because you're mixing.
I don't have any reservations for that. I'm asking it because on the weaknesses.
PCM, right?
Yes. Not knowing your partners well. If an organization acting as coordinator is preparing a project proposal, may not be fully aware of who its potential project partners are. Now, you are saying that is the weakness, but under PCM, under stakeholder analysis, it should address that problem. So I don't know how that is the weakness. That is what I wanted to talk about.
Probably, John, we're under tension, doing the thing in the shortest time possible. It's just a mix, so you can ignore.
No, the aspect we wanted to bring out here is when somebody writes a project proposal, they will usually identify a person to coordinate it. Or an institution, it could be a ministry to coordinate. One aspect we are bringing is that PCM may not enable you to know all the partners.
I comment on the second point.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that one should be shifted to the strength. Now that you have gone through the PCM process in a more comprehensive way, now you are able now to solve that challenge, which you initially had. Because now you have been systematically taken through the PCM process in totality. Apart from one thing and have later for the doctor, that M&D missed, but ideally we have gone through the entire PCM process.
Actually, Alex, you're very right. It's a strength in the PCM. We are doing that. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Alex.
There's one question.
Yes, go back to the previous slide about the stakeholder analysis and problem analysis. Sorry, repeat question.
Problem analysis.
No, here.
Stakeholder analysis.
The one thing. Oh, this one.
You can move to privacy. Stakeholder analysis. Okay, which one?
Stakeholder problem.
That one.
Yes, this is a problem, but problem analysis. I think that it's here. It is we use of ecosystem, not restoration of the ecosystem. Because we go to the program. Go to next slide.
But this one is correct.
That one is okay?
I'm not getting what you.
I'm getting him.
Because this reuse mean that water polluted, water body may be reused and affect to the negative effect to the expected result. We have a reuse of restoration of the lake of the ecosystem. You can show the PowerPoint slide. I see.
You want us to show you the
PowerPoint slide.
objective analysis?
No, PowerPoint slide.
PowerPoint. Which slide?
Problem analysis.
Of course, these are problem analysis.
That's okay. That is okay.
Okay, this one.
Which one?
Which one?
Okay, objective.
Objective?
Objective or problem?
This
That one.
this only certainly
You want what?
this is improve mean that the restoration.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Maybe
That's what-
Yeah.
negative improvement.
That one we are going to change. Thanks for the observation. It should be restoration of the ecosystem, not distortion.
Okay.
It was copy and paste from the problem analysis.
Then the what question?
Yes, Mr. Roy.
Okay, one question.
Thank you.
Is it?
And stakeholder.
What stakeholder? Stakeholder.
PowerPoint slide. Yes. This is my suggestion to you about you should to group between the interest group and the influence group. Because the farmer, NGO, and this interest group, but we put whole together. I cannot see the interest group and influence group. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
They don't understand. Can you
Uh-huh.
please repeat your question?
That one I've got it. I've got it. What it says that
we didn't categorize, but we categorize. That's why she said the coloring is different according to benefit. Fishers are benefiting more than traders, than farmers. You can see that is the level. So the primary stakeholders are the three.
Actually, when you look at it critically, the fishers are the primary.
Exactly. The lowest interest.
So it flows in
Okay.
according to the strength of the colors.
To Uganda,
You are coming next.
thank you for a very good presentation. And let me go back to your objective analysis.
We have seen that the whole
So, Angelina, can I ask my question, please? Yes, I not address that. Yes, I comment. I would think that the upper beach, all of it somehow distorted. So maybe you need to do a normal that one, yes. So it's just pointing on that.
Okay, thank you. Point noted.
I have one question. It goes back to the weaknesses of the PCM and what was mentioned that the weakness is supposed to be the strength and everything. When I was looking at the presentation, what struck me was that the fishers, they were using illegal gears, and that is one of the reasons why you have problems in the lake itself. So an approach is actually to get enforcement to go up, not to be enhanced until illegal gears are not used. There is always a possibility that the communities, the fishers as well, are against the idea of changing their illegal fishing gears simply because they do not have the financial ability to get better or the correct fishing gears. So my question, did you take that into consideration when you decided 600,000 was sufficient for this project to run, or that is probably a different area where you might want to ask for assistance from the other government agencies in case if the fishers decided that they want compensation or want some form of subsidies for those gears, because the 600,000 might not be sufficient.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. The reason why we took the 600 was based on the area, because the area is small. And we're thinking that 200,000 per year, because the community, we based on the community and the size of the area. But I totally agree with you that maybe when I agree with you that the money may not be enough, I think we'll need to review and add the money so that we can address that aspect of compensation.
I think partly what Robert was saying is is a question under the problem analysis. I feel that you have already taken that into account, right? As part of the causes. And then the issue about budget, enough or not enough, I'm afraid the PCM is silent about that. Yeah. The PCM method assumes right from the very beginning that the activities plan in terms of the financial aspect to support these activities, they were assumed to be sufficient. Yeah. So I was actually trying to fish you all to state that as the weakness of the PCM. We didn't discuss, there is no phase in the PCM that addresses how do you look for money, right? Because it assumes right from the outset that funding is sufficient already. But remember, the what do you call that? Aside from the title, the proposed title of the project, the target group, etc., etc. There is one component that asks you to identify who the donors are and the amount of budget. So the PCM simply implies that the funding is already sufficient. It's right from the